How's it going, guys? I got a nice hot one ready for you today, man. It's fresh off the press, man. I took my time and crafted one that's really good, man. This one is called The Challenges That Hopeless Romantics Face. This is mainly going to be from the perspective of myself, a man. So it's probably going to be most suitable for men. Women might go through this too, but this ain't for women. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Jerome. This is the Superb Word. I give modern advice on dating. And like I said before, this is my point of view. I'm a super empath. So although I have all the same traits and emotional characteristics of an empathic person, I'm an educated empath. So mind games and manipulation, they don't really fly by too easy with me. So my perspectives might be a little bit harsh depending on who's listening. But I only intend to help people. So please take whatever you can take from the video and do what you can do with it. If you can't use it, then it wasn't for you. Anyway, as a good man, and when I say a good man, I mean a man who is past the phase of cheating and past the phase of having a wandering eye. He is looking for commitment, long-term commitment, potentially marriage, to have a family. He's a hopeless romantic, as the title was going to imply. He believes in love and monogamy. He's a God-fearing man, and his values and morals are in alignment. And he's just looking for one woman that he can trust and have a mutually beneficial relationship with. And there's challenges that he's going to face. And it's inevitable. There's nothing he can do. But one thing that he can do that will potentially save him some time and emotional damage is have some standards in place. I have standards in place. I got about 8 standards. It's kind of lengthy. I got a few standards I want to share with you that potentially help prevent people from wasting your time and also help you to not waste your own time. Let's get right into it. So, standard number 1. She must be attractive and meets your specific preferences. So this is subjective because every man has his own preferences. Height, age, weight, race, kids, religion, beliefs, etc. So you don't want to just go out there and talk to somebody that you know you don't want to talk to. For instance, if you don't like or want to date women who have kids, don't do it. Me personally, I prefer women with kids. It's a certain element that comes from dating women with kids. To me, in my opinion, a woman with kids knows how to put other people before herself. And that is, like, to me, that's nurturing. And that's not a selfish lifestyle. But to each their own. That's my own personal preference. So she must meet your personal preferences. So that's up to you, fellas. Like, you must go out there and find women, or only court or vet women who meet your specific specifications. Think about them. What do you want out of a woman? Write it down. And only pursue women who meet those specific specifications or preferences. And that's going to be a very valuable standard. You'll see in a second. Standard number 2. She must be emotionally mature, regulated emotionally. So she must regulate her own emotions, self-soothing, isn't impulsive, and has self-confidence. Now, please note, a woman who isn't emotionally mature relies on outside sources for her internal validation and fulfillment. This woman cannot be satisfied. So it's very important for you to take note of that. That a woman who is not emotionally mature, she's going to suck up as much validation as she possibly can. She doesn't have her emotions in order. She's going to lash out. She's going to say things she doesn't mean. She's going to be impulsive, explosive, toxic. Standard 3. She must be self-reliant and sustainable. That means she's not looking for someone to take care of her 100%. Okay? She has ambitions and goals. Very attractive. And she can and will do for you sometimes. So it's not going to be me. Next, let me see. This is number 1, 2, 3. Number 4. She must know how to resolve conflicts. Now, conflicts can be tiny or huge, and you want her to know how to de-escalate the conflict in a healthy manner, avoiding yelling, insults, saying things she doesn't mean, overreacting, etc. Example of a tiny conflict that can easily be blown out of proportion. If you tell her that you're going to the store, and then when you return from that store, you don't have anything in your possession, that's a conflict, because it's going to make her brain say, that doesn't match what you said you were going to do. Something doesn't make any sense. Rightfully so. She is not wrong for having a conflicting thoughts. But what you want to observe is how she goes about it. For instance, does she make assumptions? Does she ask about it, then just let it go? Or does she require and demand receipts? I'll go into that deeper in a second. Number 5, she must take accountability. She can have pride, but not so much that she doesn't bring herself to admit when she's wrong or even to say, I'm sorry. She must repent and correct her own actions without being forced to. So this is not your job as a man to force somebody to change their behavior. This is something that she must do on her own. Okay? That's called taking accountability. Repenting, in other words, not doing it again, apologizing, acknowledging you were wrong, that is called taking accountability. That's something that you have to do on your own. If it's forced, it's not genuine. Number 6, she must add to your peace, being proactive in the way she communicates, providing details and clarity, initiates interactions that promote transparency and security. Now, this can be as simple as letting you know what her plans are before she does them, okay? And you don't have to pry anything out of her. It's real simple. Hey, babe, I'm going to go to work, and then after work, I'm going to pick up the kids, and then I'm going to cook some dinner. It doesn't leave any room for you to wonder where she's at or what she's going to do. You know, she's proactive. She didn't have to do that. But she did that. She was proactive by providing extra details and clarity. That definitely will add to a man's peace. Trust me on that one. So the next one is 7. She must respect you. Respect your time, your money, your position in the relationship, your family, your decisions, your mind, thoughts, and feelings. That's pretty much self-explanatory. I mean, respect can go a long way. You can't respect these parts and not that part. It ain't gonna work like that. She must respect all of the above. And respect, I feel like respect goes both ways, right? If I don't respect something about you, then there's something off. I shouldn't be dealing with you, and vice versa. If you don't respect something about me, it's not a good fit. Okay? Don't force yourself. Don't hurt yourself trying to be with me. That's what I tell people. Number 8, she must be intentional. Knows what she wants, so she doesn't string you along. Be emotionally available to receive you in her life and to handle you with care. That's self-explanatory as well. If you're not sure what I mean by emotionally available, some people are guarded. They don't trust anybody. They are unhealed. They are damaged goods. They cannot see past their past traumas. There's no way you're going to heal her. That's something that she has to do on her own terms. Here's the challenges you will face once you have put your own standards in place. Real life, 2024 and beyond, or current challenges that men like me will have to face. Number 1, women are looking for pastime situations. Will say whatever she needs to say just to get you to want to be with her. Meanwhile, she's keeping her options open until something better comes along. Note, she is breaking standards number 7 and 8, but there's no way to predetermine a liar. It takes time. Okay, so that's a challenge because you don't know if that's what she's doing until you find out, and that might be 2-3 months later. Challenge number 1. Challenge number 2. Women are looking to extort you. She will love bomb you in the beginning until she has no further use of you, and then she will soon discard you. She is simply mirroring you. Quotes, master manipulation. These women take pride in bringing down or destroying good men. That's going to be a challenge because you don't know this until you're emotionally destroyed. And they take pride in taking down good men. So they're seeking out good men in order to do this. You're a good man. She's coming for you, dog. Number 3, codependent women will latch on to good men, but not be healed or equipped to handle you with care or confidence. She's breaking standard number 2. But again, this takes time to find out. Challenge number 3. On to number 4. Damaged women who are good at their core, but can't see past their previous traumas, therefore requires excessive admiration and validation on a continuous basis to maintain her sense of self. She is violating standards 2, 3, 6, and 8. She must take time to heal before dating. But you won't know this until the time has come. 4 major challenges that a good man who has set in place standards when he is dating will face is that there's women who are going to slither through all of those standards. As good as your standards are, there are going to be women who get past those standards because their ulterior motive, what's on the inside, their ability to manipulate and use you are sharpened because they've dealt with many of men. And they know what we look for, and they know what we want to hear, and they say everything we want to hear to get us to where we want to be. I could tell you one thing off top that you can do that to prevent or even assist in dodging some of these bullets. Don't listen to what you hear. Listen to what you see. I know you know what I meant, even though you can't listen to what you see. Okay? Now, how should a man go about dating then? Like, because if you date one woman at a time and all this stuff like that, it's going to be a long process. It's like, dang, man, how do I expedite this service? Well, first of all, man, you're going to have to take your time. There's a couple of things I'm about to tell you right now it's going to be easier said than done. Excuse me. Number 1, you're going to court a woman. Date one woman at a time so that your efforts aren't subpar. Because if you're dating multiple women, let's say if you're dating 5 women, you're going to give each one of those women 20% of your time. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So that's 100% of your time, but being split 5 ways, you're giving each one 20%. By giving each woman 20% of your time, she has intuition, just like we do, but she's going to be able to feel it through how long it takes you to respond, how often she can spend time with you, how often you guys communicate, the conversation, you remembering small details, because you're spreading yourself thin. This works for men and women, but women don't seem to get this part right here. They think that the way dating should be is dating multiple people. Hey, if you're having fun and it's working for you, I ain't the one to tell you nothing. But I will tell you this, that spreading, I know if a woman is spreading herself thin with me, if I say good morning and you never respond, but I'm left on red, but you posting on social media, clearly I'm not a priority. And once I see that I'm not a priority in your life, you're no longer a priority in my life. I might still deal with you because I'm not an insecure man and I don't care what you do. But once I see that I'm not a priority for you, no problem. You get knocked down off of that priority list as well. And then when you get done doing other people or things and you try to come back around to me, now you got to work hard to get back on my priority list. And it's probably not reversible, to be real, because once I gave you a shot and you played with me, I'm not going to let you toy with me any further. And I don't think a woman would either. So that goes both ways. Okay? Address red flags early and see if there's corrections made. If there's not any corrections made, you must leave when it's safe to do so. Now, how I do this is if I see something happen one time, that's not necessarily a red flag unless it's something that is horrible and clearly breaks one of my 8 standards. But if it's something that I didn't have on my list of standards because it was unpredictable, like life tends to be, I would just watch it, observe it, and see how frequently this happens or if it's a pattern. And then I would be like, hey, I noticed that you do this, and this makes me feel like that. And I don't want to control you. You are free to do what you want to do. But I just want to know where we're heading, what direction we're going. How serious should I take? How should I be looking into that? Should this be a red flag? Me, I tend to ask questions, because you can't tell me I'm making an assumption if I'm asking you a question. Making an assumption is drawing a conclusion and predetermining that I already know what's going on, even though I don't have enough supportive details. Asking questions gains clarity. You can answer the question, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, I wasn't thinking like that. I didn't know that. But still, I'm going to observe you. And if I don't like something, I'm going to let you know. And hopefully that behavior stops. Otherwise, I got to go. This is a hard one for us right here, fellas. Avoid having sex until you feel like you have found a match. That's hard, but very necessary. No woman who you didn't have sex with and it didn't work out with can say that you played her. Okay? You sleep with a clear conscience. She can't go around smearing your name. There's nothing to do. And you haven't created a useless soul tie. Okay? You don't have any attachments. Now, I know it sounds a little hard because you're like, man, all my time, money, and everything invested, and then I leave without getting in. Look, that's what's best. Especially if you're looking for something serious and long-term, and you tired of playing games and having these women. They don't do it to me, but I'm assuming that men get their, not assuming, I know what happens. Men get their tires flattened, windows busted, harassed. Ain't no woman gonna harass you if you ain't even created a soul tie. Okay? So you just save yourself some time and trouble, bro. Don't do it. You know, pray about it. Gain as much discipline that you can possibly gain through prayer to make that something that you don't do. And that's also beneficial because your conversation won't be about sex. You'll learn how to enjoy other parts of the relationship or the connection between you and the woman. Watching movies, finding other things that you guys have in common, because obviously sex is going to be something that you both have in common. But it allows you to focus on the other parts. So if you're making the cake is the substance of the relationship, and then the cherry on top is the sex. It shouldn't be the sex is the cake and then the substance is the cherry on top. That's how I look at it, fellas. Next is you want to avoid women who clearly didn't match your standards to begin with. Come on, I just kind of said that. It's common sense. If she didn't match one of those standards, if you saw one of those things in her and then you gained clarity through asking questions, not making assumptions, and then through that gaining clarity, you realize that she cannot uphold that standard, that's a recipe for failure. And you know it's not going to go well already. You cannot change people. They have to change themselves. They have to be willing to. They have to self-reflect, look inward. They have to do the work. They have to heal themselves. You cannot heal a woman who is damaged. It's not your responsibility. You didn't know her. You didn't do what the last one did to her. Fellas, don't waste your time. Well, that is my video on the challenges that hopeless romantics face and how to overcome these challenges. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. If you're new to this channel, I welcome you. How you doing? I do these videos every Tuesday and Thursday. I'll be happy to be back with you shortly. If you have any comments, please leave them. If you have any standards I didn't list, I'm always open to broaden my list, because, you know, I don't want to waste any time. And I'll be back with you guys shortly, though. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.